HB, man, do I have a story for you. I think it's just you and me right now. Oh, this is toothpicks. I need matches. I was waiting for Andy before I told you both what just happened this morning. Hold on. Sit still, just us. I mean, I can mention this again when Andy comes on. First off, can you hear me? Is that music too loud? Yeah, let me turn that music down. Sorry, this is a higher BPM than I thought, than our normal stuff. HB, our back deck caught on fire this morning. We were woken up. My husband woke up at like, I don't know, it was probably around 4:45, and went up to go to the bathroom essentially and could see it through the window behind me. The back deck goes out that way where I'm normally out with the dog, and you could see the fire through the window. And he was such a hero and went and woke everybody up in the building, and we got everybody out and we got all the pets out. And thankfully the fire was contained to just outside and there's no interior damage. I'm so grateful, but like, it has been a wild 2 hours to say the least. So I'm really glad to be here. Oh my God. Hey, Pierced. I just got on. No one was hurt. Thankfully, no one was burned. The back deck, the top floor back deck is where it started. So not my unit, but the one above. And I can see some damage from here, but it looks like ours is okay, but they'll probably have to replace the whole staircase. My husband woke up because he had to go to the bathroom and he saw lights. So someone in the neighborhood had called in the fire before we even woke up, because I was calling 911 when the fire trucks were already pulling up. And then my husband, like, we heard the door going off and I thought it might have been the firefighters. And my husband realized it was one of the teenage boys next door, saw the fire and came over and started hitting all of the apartment buzzers in the building to like get everybody up. And I'm just so grateful. Oh, I'm still a little in shock. So I'm really glad everything's okay. At first I didn't think I was going to be on because I was in shock, but everybody's okay. And our home is okay. It's just the outside, which is amazing. There doesn't even seem to be too much smoke damage or anything in here, even. Like, I'm sure if someone came in from the outside, they could probably smell the smoke in here, but we can't smell it anymore. I know. I'm so glad that everybody was okay. Hey, Andy. It's kind of trippy because it feels like there's a lot going on right now, like today and tomorrow especially, like just in the world and all the like woo-woo weird senses. Like, it just feels like strange timing. I've never had this happen before. I've never been in that scenario before. So it's just very odd. But I'm really glad everyone's okay. Got all the pets out, got all the kids out. But we're here. And it's gonna be a better day now. But like, man, I was not planning on starting with that. I saw that the third telepathy tapes has already come out, and I am like stressing about being behind. But I did work on my script yesterday, and it's coming along. So hopefully soon I'll have the first one done and I can keep moving. I actually have a bunch of meetings today. Bubby, where are you going? Must be going to the living room to lay down. Oh my goodness. Were you HB? Which one, what's the topic for episode 3? I know episode 2 is mediums. It's like I'm really torn. I want to keep listening, but I don't know if it'll skew my reporting if I listen to more than one episode before like getting its script done, you know? It might not. It might just be in my head. Sorry, my partner's cooking. So you're gonna have a little bit more noise right now. You're not listening to the tapes yet? Quiet there, cooking lunch. Did you hear the beginning of the drama, Andy? Pierce, do you plan on listening to the tapes, or is that something that's not really of interest to you? There's no wrong answer. I'm just curious. I am going to be doing a video getting ideas from the universe. Hello, partner. What a hero. I hope he gets extra smooches, of course. Yeah, it's just kind of weird. Like, it was 4:45 this morning. Like, everyone was asleep. Like, no one knows where it came from. I'm just very glad everyone's okay. What were we saying? Yeah, Rick Rubin's on it, yes. I am a big fan of him. I read his book, The Creative Act, which didn't have the same profound experience on me as like a lot of people said it did on them, but it was still a really fantastic book. Yeah, I'm hopeful I can get through what is that thing I'm coloring? Hopefully I can get through this script and keep moving on with everything. Sorry, I can tell I'm a little like slow energy right now. I feel like I'm moving in slow motion just with everything going on. Like this literally, it's not even been 2 hours. Oh, I guess it has been. God, time is just being weird. Oh, I see. Okay, Pierce, that's awesome. I appreciate it. The first one I am in the works on now. I worked really heavily on it yesterday. I had plans to work on it more today. Still figuring out how the day's shifting based on everything that just happened. I think if there's going to be some other things that come up that we have to take care of or what. R126. Where is that marker? Here it is. Yeah, I'm interested. Like Rick Rubin kind of surprised me as a guest. Yeah. Rick Rubin kind of surprised me as a guest. So I'm really interested to see what he contributes. I imagine it's going to be about creative downloads, right? I am really I'm so eager to keep going. I want to get this first video out so bad. Hopefully really soon. I'm going to do the leash in this dark red. I I feel like there was a lot happening online right now with 3i Atlas approaching. I believe it gets closest today and tomorrow, if that's correct. And see, like, if anything happens there. R323. Okay. R323. I feel like there's been some UAP news that I haven't been cluing into. Like, for instance, I haven't watched Suativo in probably 2 weeks. Yeah, yes, pierced. So, 3i Atlas is we're going to call it a comet right now. The comet that is on the other side of the sun right now. It is approaching its closest to the sun today and tomorrow for the next 24 hours, which supposedly is coinciding with like some weird solar activity or solar flares, I guess. Astronomically or astrology wise, there's a lot of weird things going on, but I'm not I'm interested in astrology, but I'm not interested enough to understand or know exactly what's happening right now. Yeah, it's closest to the sun today. And there's just a lot of strange things coming on. And if you get into like conspiracy talk, there's a whole lot of conversations going on around electromagnetism and the Schumann resonance, and if there's going to be impacts on anything because of this. It's all very interesting. And I don't really believe in coincidences, but I am also sure that like today had nothing to do with it. It's just weird timing, you know? Hold on, let me get the record. I can put that stuff away later. Wait, Nap was on Siwativo? Siwativo when? Like recently? I will go back and listen to that. I didn't see that. Okay, yeah, I'll go take a look. Thank you. I feel like I'm in such a daze, you guys. Coloring right now is actually like very calming and relaxing and kind of like bringing me back to a sense of normalcy a little. It just like last night before I went to bed, I was literally looking up all of this stuff about what's supposed to be going on over the next 2 days. Just because I was curious, and I don't know, to me it sounds like the woo-woo side of the rapture. Like we just had, you know, all of the zealots online thinking that the rapture was going to happen a few days ago and everyone was freaking out, and now I feel like this is just like the other side's equivalent. Except that it's not scary, at least, not to me. But it makes me put a lot of salt on any of the stuff being said because, it just makes me think of the rapture talk. And I'm like, obviously we thought that was crazy, so like, why doesn't anybody else think that this stuff's crazy? So, okay, these are not the same colors, but they look the same. Maybe when they dry, they'll dry differently. Yeah, Third Eye Alice. Lobe and Weaponization, okay. Weaponization podcast. I will look it up. do like maybe reds and blues. I'm seriously still in shock. I can see it. Where's this marker? I need to get one of those cases that holds them all up and you can put them in like numerical order so they're easier to find. Oh, yeah, I'm not worried. I really am not. I don't know how to describe it, but I was telling my partner this, that if any of this stuff is true, if any of it, just devil's advocate, if any of it's true, I think it's going to be a good thing, not a bad thing. I think that a fire is alarming, but everyone was safe, everyone was okay, it contained to outside, and that is enough to make me feel so good, so protected. Because it didn't infiltrate the house and it didn't hurt anybody, and we were able to get everyone awake and our neighbors were looking out, and like everything worked out perfectly. So I'm not thinking of it as in like, I'm not worried or like freaking out that like, oh, it's a bad omen or the world's ending. It's not that. It's more of like cosmic change potentially happening, and how sometimes the universe forces change upon you by putting things in your way or experiences that might happen. And it feels more like that. Just more of like a, not a bad omen, not a fearful thing. Just more of like a wake-up call, maybe. I don't know how bad it is. When I went out there yet, it wasn't sunny out, but from what I can see, our deck and the decks below are okay, and it's just the deck above where the fire started. It did drip stuff down. There's a lot of, like, all the stuff on my deck is ruined. So, like, they threw over all the furniture, like, they threw it off the deck. So, like, I mean, all the plants, all of that is gone. But the deck isn't burned. Our deck, the one above might be, but, like, our deck isn't burned. I had faux grass down, and I think that might have melted. So we gotta see, like, they're gonna have to just replace the whole deck. But like, I think we might be able to go back out there later today once it dries and I can start cleaning a little bit and see the damage. They did break down the door upstairs, so I'm gonna have to call somebody to come in and replace that. But yeah, I'm just glad everybody was okay. Yeah, Lucy and her human's okay. That was the first thing. So my husband ran upstairs to where the fire was and woke up the human and Lucy and got them out first, and then worked his way down and got everybody, because the fire was up top and he could tell, and so then he worked his way down and got everybody out and then came back up. And as he was doing that, I was getting the dog ready, and like obviously I had to get, you know, some sort of clothes on. I like got dressed, grabbed the dog. I grabbed like a hard drive that has like our personal information on it, and we bolted out the front door, and got all the neighbors out. And yeah, I mean, it worked out. Everything worked out. It just, Lucy's a dog. Lucy is an English bulldog. She lives in the apartment above. And then we have Monty that's in this apartment. And then there are 2 cats downstairs. We got them out too. And a baby downstairs, like a human baby outside, or downstairs. We got her out and her parents. And our other, I love our community so much. And our other neighbors came out to check on us and like took my neighbor with the baby and like took her inside to their home so that like the baby didn't have to be outside. Everyone kind of took turns like taking care of each other's pets and stuff, because all the animals were stressing out because they didn't know what was going on. There's all these men in fire suits, and there's lights and sirens. It was just, and it was pitch black out because it was 4:45 this morning, so it was like still dark out, still cold out. It was just It's strange. My mom had a house fire when I was a kid, but I didn't live with my mom, so I had like to me it was just like anecdotal stories. But then this is the first time I've ever been in a building and could see that the building was on fire. I was really surprised, like, even though everything was okay, really surprised by how much it alarmed me afterwards for a couple hours. I know, Monty was just out here, and he tried to get him to come back. There it is. You guys. Thanks for just sitting with me and letting me talk about this a second. I just need to process a little bit more, I think. But again, like, I'm so grateful. It could have been so much different. It could have been so different. We might not have been home. People might not have woken up. It could have progressed faster and gotten into the house. Like, I'm just very, very grateful. Okay. Let's keep going. I'm going to color this dog blue. Me too, HB. Me too. Of course, this marker's drying out. All the markers are drying out. I need to do like a studio wish list for supplies and such. Feels like a lot of change is happening right now for a lot of people. Just a lot of transitions, I think, might be the word. Oh, okay, Pierce, let's go. How was your meditation? How did it get weird? Did you start to go out of body? I'm definitely going to meditate today. Go for a run. Let out some excess adrenaline. It'd be good. Okay, wait. These are actually adorable. They're like little blue and red pets. Yeah, HB. That's why I've been mixing the coloring shorts in, because people tend to like the storytelling over that visual. So I'm trying to do a mix of shorts from the information I've gained from the telepathy tapes mixed in with just anecdotal stories that I tell over these coloring pictures. And the more I do it, the more ideas I get, which is awesome. But I just find that, like, I wake up and I really want to color and I want to record it, when in fact, like, I have a backlog, of things already recorded that I need to catch up on first before I do that. All right, let's decide what these floors and walls are, because that coloring is going to determine a lot of things. So maybe we do the floors like a greenish color. What color are floors? It's like linoleum floors. Is this weird, this color? This 211, can you see it? Am I in far enough? This color I'm thinking of doing for the floors. Like this, like, is that weird? This is the color of the bones of this guy. It doesn't show up as good on here. Urgh. Okay, maybe we do a dark yellow. The yellow I always want to use is out. Isn't it? Hold on, Pierce. I'm coming back to your message. Yeah, that one's out. Okay. All right, because I have ADHD, I try not to set times because I get impatient. Tried to just start and see where it's going, and I was pulled out of it again and again because I was, yeah, a little too close to the bone. Because you were fearful, scared. I assured myself, hey, I'm okay, I'm safe, blah, 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 but came back again and again. Hey, Paul, good morning. I've had that happen, pierced. I've definitely had that happen. Okay, wait, we're gonna do an orangey color then. How about this one? Let me find it. There it is. Oh, can you flip the record, honey? We'll do this. Paul, you're missing all the drama this morning. We're moving on from it so we don't dwell, but my house caught on fire. But everything's okay. It's just the back deck, thankfully. Oh, am I even in the shot? So pierced. I have had moments of fear in meditation, and I don't always understand it either. And I think it's awesome that you kept working through it. I think that what you did, like just coming back and back again, is exactly what you have to do, right? Like that's what meditation is just trying to bring it in, getting distracted, coming back. Rinse and repeat, you know? Do you meditate in silence? Do you meditate? I know that you said you don't like to do a timer, but do you do anything else to like set yourself up, or is it just you just start meditating and see how it goes? Yeah, I know. I'm so curious. I get anxiety myself. So I definitely understand. My mother is pretty much a witch, and she is fearful. She's afraid of meditation. Um, Not because she thinks there's anything wrong with meditation, but because she's afraid of what it might bring up. My mom had a very traumatic childhood. And I think she's afraid that through meditation, the things that she's forgotten from childhood might resurface. And I can respect that fear. It's kind of how like some of us get fear of being in silence, so we constantly have to have our phones on, right? There's got to always be something playing to like give our minds something to refocus on when it gets uncomfortable dealing with reality or inner thoughts. I'm victim of this. That's the only reason I can speak to it. I know that I do this. So I can see why in meditation it could potentially bring up something else, Yep, keeping rolling. There was a moment this morning that I thought I'm not getting on because of what happened. But as things started to calm down, I realized that I really wanted to do this because it will help me re-regulate, All right, let's see. It's like your fear kept kicking you out of your own meditation, seeing how it was chaotic and disruptive. I felt like I had to work through my fears now. It's very good self-insight. You're young, right, Pierce? Can I ask how old you are? Only if you want. You don't have to answer. But if I remember correctly, I feel like you're young. You seem very wise. Your calm went awake for so long. I see. Mid-20s. Okay, yeah, so you are young. Um, Man, that's incredible. I think a lot of people in their 20s, even their late 20s, don't have the wherewithal to recognize those things about themselves. Don't get me wrong, I love Gen Z. That's not what I'm saying. Um, some of my favorite humans are Gen Zers. But I do think that like that maturity is something that like not many people are just innately attuned to. So it's awesome. Gonna have to go over this piece of linoleum again. Square. Okay. All right, so we got the linoleum down. Next we have benches that they're sitting on, and then the walls. And then I can start filling out the rest. Calm is when the insight comes, yeah. You're not the first to say that. Oh, I imagine I'm not. Usually when people are like that, it's special and it is a wonderful quality. And I feel like that when people have those traits and other people recognize them, like you hear it often. When I was younger, I was always an old soul. I would get those comments all the time myself. So I recognize it. Old soul wouldn't work it any other way. And I meditate with binaural frequencies. You do. Wherewithal, vocab plus where? What? What are you saying, Paul? uh, so I love the idea of binaural frequencies. I almost did a sleep meditation last night, and I didn't for some reason. But I do those regularly, and I really appreciate like listening to binaural beats and frequencies. And also, I mean, were you here? You were here on Monday when we were talking about the hemisync technology from the Gateway Experience tapes. I mean, those are all similar. Okay, hold on 1 second. Just warn me before so I can tell everybody. Hi. So I was just informed that a blender is going to be used momentarily. Just keep that in mind. It's only temporary. I said most people don't have the wherewithal. Yeah, but that was verbal. Are you saying I pronounced it like it doesn't have the H? Did I use it wrong? I'm not, I won't be offended. I'm just trying to understand. All right, we're gonna bring in some of this blue and start making a few quicker decisions here. Oh, music got interesting, huh?
Oh, throat singing.
Yeah, can we change that?
No, it's okay. The Kale left the room. It's gonna be done in a minute.
Okay. Got some weird throat singing. Don't be alarmed. I'm not starting a cult. I just had not listened to this album before when we pulled it out. Oh, it's an interesting saying. Oh, okay. So you're not saying I'm saying it wrong. You were just reading. I mean, doesn't wherewithal mean like having all of the your wits about you in the scenario, I guess? Like having the wherewithal to understand something, having the tools in your tool belt. Am I using that right? I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, there is one specific experience, Pierce. We can talk about it. Um, so I have had tendencies growing up. I think this is maybe the case for a lot of people. So everyone, please jump in with your own stories and let me know. But um, as a kid, I was always very interested in things like UFOs and any sort of mystery. So I remember Bigfoot and Loch Ness Monster were very big interests of mine. As I got into high school, I was really interested in the moon landing and I was really interested in the JFK assassination. So I had always had like a little bit of inclination towards out of the box thinking. But then as I got older, it kind of like wiggled its way out. I got distracted, became the center of my own universe, as people in their teens and 20s do. And it all kind of went dormant for a while. And then in 2021, hold on, I gotta change this music. Is there, what is this? I just need a Zach record, if you don't mind. Sorry, I'm gonna change the music. So, uh, anyways, one day in May of 2021, my partner was in Mexico and it was a Monday. And I woke up and oh, there's the blender. Hold on. Let me know if you can't hear me. But I woke up and essentially just felt different. I couldn't describe it at the time, and I'm thankful that I have a bunch of text messages because my partner was away. I was texting him these things as I was feeling them because I was like, I don't know what's happening. Okay, sound is okay, thank you. So I was like, I don't know what's going on. I woke up, I feel really strange, but I feel good. I felt, I was feeling really called to stretch my body, not just like do yoga, but I just felt this need to like deep stretch. Like I felt like the fascia tissue just like needed to be stretched and pulled. And I felt a really strong need to meditate. And that day, as the day progressed, I was walking the dog, and I remember just having this feeling of understanding what is and isn't important. And I even texted my partner that, and I was like, I can't explain this, but I just have this feeling of like all of a sudden I understand how many of my problems on a day-to-day basis just were not problems. Like they just were not important. They didn't matter. They were not worth being upset over. And it's an easy thing to say because we've all experienced that part of it, but it was like this inner feeling. And I don't know what the catalyst of it was, but it just literally clicked on one day. And then for about a week or two straight, wild things started happening. I started experimenting with manifestation and like trying to do kind of instant manifestation things. Like I treated it as playing a game with the universe, and I just kept kind of talking to the universe almost like you would God and being like, okay, if we're all connected, if this is all in my mind, if we really are the creators of everything, if consciousness is the base of reality and we can make anything happen, I want to see a flamingo, right? I want to see a flamingo. I'm walking the dog. I do not live where flamingos live. I want to see a flamingo. And I'll walk the dog and I'll turn the corner and there will be someone's house that has a yard full of black flamingos because it's Halloween as decorations. Didn't even occur to me. Or I'll walk and I'll say, okay, I want to see something that's neon pink because that's just not a color I see everywhere. And I'll turn the corner and a girl's walking past me with like a neon pink backpack. Just like silly things like that, which can easily be nothing and can easily be confirmation bias and easily be you get what you look for. But it was enough for me to be like, then maybe if it is in my head, I just need to start looking for what I want. And so it just kind of evolved from there, and nothing ever went back in the box, if that makes sense. Okay, cool. The blender was cool. Thank you. Hey, Gothric. So, Pierce, I hope that answers your question. Um, Feel free to ask me any questions about it that you want. Also, feel free to jump in with any of your experiences. I love hearing about these for other people. It makes me feel a little less crazy sometimes with my own experiences. I'm going to get a lighter blue for our bunny. Gothric, how you doing, babe? How you feeling? We've had a morning over here. Can you guys see? Before everything went down, I had half a mind to show up in my, like, in Halloween costume for this morning. But things went sideways. I still think, because I still think I'll get on Friday, and I will wear something Halloween-y if I do. You guys see okay? Yeah. Yeah, you missed the drama, Gothric. That's okay. It definitely is just so strange. I feel like I have so much on my mind at any given moment, and I tell you guys that all the time. But I have so much on my mind at any given moment that, like, this experience just feels, one, kind of par for the course, but two, like, it was meant as, like, maybe not a wake-up call, but or a distraction. It just feels like it's worth pondering an extra second. Doesn't, we'll see. Okay, so we got our little gray bunny. Oh, wow, good for you. I like getting Christmas done early, too. Wait, pierced. I can't wait to hear the rest of that. When I came around and I talked to a girlfriend about it, I probably saw her like a year and a half later, and I explained to her, and I was like, I was wildly embarrassed for the longest time because, like, a lot of my friends were not very blue, and I thought they'd think I was going crazy, or I, like, just didn't feel safe talking about it. But I had one girlfriend that I did, and when I mentioned it to her, she's got this big smile on her face. She's older than me. How old is she? She's 12 years older than me, 13 years older than me. And she had this big smile on her face, and she was like, I knew it was coming for you. And she said, I think part of the reason that her and I had gotten distant for a while was because she was waiting for me to wake up, because she had woken up and felt so disconnected from so many people in her life that weren't feeling that way. And so when I came back to her and was like, this thing is happening to me and my life has never been the same, and she was like, come here. This is exactly what I was waiting for. I knew it was going to happen to you, and I needed you to get there so that, like, we could relate back on this energetic level. And it was so validating. This is my girlfriend that met us in Vegas when we renewed our vows 2 weeks ago, and she just, yeah, It's very, very cool. But you were saying your friend said that you're the only person. I love that you have a creative space, HB. And Gothric, I need to do some washing up too. And I have not started on the holidays yet, but I should probably start thinking about them. All right, I need to keep picking colors. Let's find a wall color. I'm thinking, is a dark color strange to do on the wall? I mean, it's okay to do on the wall, right? What if I do like a brown and then I do like a mid brown? Why not? Make it weird. Why 2, 3, 4? I mean, it's a Halloween. It doesn't matter. We've had this for over 50 years. I'm so glad we could talk now. Me too, HB. Okay, so now 1 year later, here I am having your fears manifest themselves as shelves, apparently. HB is 65. Yeah, I tend to keep my mouth shut unless I'm around non-judgmental people that ridicule you for your ideas and then encourage them with people look like me and either start talking sense or yeah, Gothric. So, I mean, honestly, I didn't expect to be on the internet talking about these things when they started happening to me. I expected a lot of things. I expected things to go back to normal. I expected myself to revert back to how I felt before this happened. And things did shift, right? Like things wax and wane and get stronger and weaker at times. But it has never gone fully back in the box. And I can't imagine how it ever could. It literally just, like, I understand that consciousness is a spectrum. And it just felt like once you progress, even if things plateau for a while and get weird, like, you're not going to decrease. Like, hopefully you're not going to go back down. Like, hopefully it just continues in a positive trajectory. And I mean, HB, you guys all know this. I don't talk about my YouTube channel to anybody in my real life. Very few people know I do this. Oh, I thought the album was done. It is not. Very, very few people in my real life know that I do this because I'm still coming to terms with it. I mean, even the telepathy tapes, which so many of us have come to fully respect, believe, etc., is still like a very taboo topic for me to be spending my time on, especially be putting my name on and on the internet nonetheless. Which is why I always try to approach everything from the I don't know, I'm still learning, but like just sharing what I learned type stuff. And I think that's the best and only route right now for me, but it is just one of those things that, yeah, I don't talk about it in my regular life to most people. Only when who I'm talking to is someone that I know are kind of into this stuff. I am very lucky that this all happened in 2021, and my really good friend group that I have now, I met my best friend in 2020 for the first time, but then we all started getting close. Our little group started getting close after my awakening, so I always joke with them that like they've gotten a version of me that like didn't exist before. Like there's a part of me that like has no relation to this part of me that they never met. And then I have all of these other friends in my life that have only ever known that previous version of me that I'm like hiding this new side of myself from, or I'm just slowly releasing. So it's the biggest thing for me has been having friends that I'm able to be like that with from the jump. Also, I'm just thinking about this because the sun's out. I seriously was going to film on the deck today instead of inside because I thought it was going to be a little warmer. But obviously I can't with the fire. Yep, exactly, HB. Tired of the box. I can't imagine what it's like for y'all older than me, but I couldn't bear the thought of that's it. I'll buy laundry to church until the day I die, and then nothing. No thanks. Child and friends are not really friends. Agreed. Now, there are exceptions, I think. I think it's possible to have childhood friends that grow with you. But most of mine aren't even childhood friends. They're adult friends. They're just friends from before 2021. I have Hannah, which HB knows, and a few of you guys have seen here. Every now and then she pops up. Sometimes she's just lurking, so who knows? She could be sitting here. But I have Hannah, and she is one of those people that I have been able to grow with, which is incredible. I think that doesn't happen a lot. I think it's hard on partners, romantic partners, and friendships and family. Like when people grow, we grow at different rates, and I think it's really difficult for others to understand sometimes what's happening, because if you're not the one going through it, it usually doesn't make a lot of sense, or it looks a little strange. So having people around you that you can safely grow with or grow around and still have like them still have a level of respect for you and understanding for you and leaving space for you, like it's really, really invaluable, and it does happen. Hey Elf, good morning, how are you? I saw someone talking the other day about Elf and how the creator of the show was so adamant that everyone, like that he never broke character with Elf, and that he was so adamant that everyone understood that Elf was an alien and not a puppet and all of these things. And it's just funny seeing your name pop up reminds me of watching that yesterday. That's awesome, HB. Don't. You're not weird, Gothric. Not at all. It's a trap. It's a trap. It's a trap. Doesn't make sense to everybody. But there are so many of us that have come to the other side and been like, this is silly, the way we do this. I think it's part of the reason I know I'm not having kids. I love children. It's not that. I absolutely love children, and I think they're necessary, and I think they need to be protected at all costs. But I think that this world is so wild right now. Like you said, like you wake up and realize like, oh, we're supposed to just like do the dishes and pay taxes and this is it. It's very hard to swallow. So I think that it's good that people are coming to terms. Why care what they think then? I mean, that's an easy one to say, but it's hard to put in practice, right? Especially if like that's all you have. I think it's easier to say who cares what they think if you have a support system. Like in my case, I have friends that are supportive, so I can say I don't care what my family thinks, for instance. But to Gothric, it kind of seems like he may not have that support system anywhere, and so it's hard to not care what someone thinks when those are the only people you have. And maybe they're not, and maybe I'm speaking out of turn, but I can understand and sympathize why someone may feel that way, you know? I'm so excited that your family came around, HB. And I still need to read the next chapter and keep going. And eventually we can come back to potentially reading that next chapter about walking on water here. Today's not the day just because I am scattered, but it's on the docket. Okay. I'm gonna do, what am I gonna do? I need to do these floorboard lines and like this stuff in the picture frame lines to kind of get that image figured out before I finish the rest of this inside. Okay. Where are my markers? Did I already get it out? No. Really, guys? I heard it's not important to understand all things because the world is too vast and life is too varied. It serves someone better to be understood. I'm more afraid because the idea of reality has changed. I love how the dog and the bunny owner are both blue. And maybe the skeleton could have a light red aspect. Yep, exactly. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking these guys are going to be in blue and these guys are going to be in kind of reds. And that's why I'm trying to figure out the background before I go in further. Because we're going to do like these kind of yellowy greens in the back, I think. But I can't find the one marker I want. Oh, there it is. Sorry, my husband's eating noodles, if you can hear that. I know, Halloween, craziest time of the year, and as they say, when the veil is thinnest and all of those things, and that's part of what's going on with this like three-eye atlas conspiracy that everyone's talking about. They're like, the veil's thin for Halloween, plus all this stuff in astrology, plus three-eye atlas, plus the Schumann resonance, plus. And it's just kind of crazy. Can you actually hear the marker on the pad? Okay, glass is done. You should smell, well, what you would smell right now is ramen noodles mixed with probably a little smoke. Pantomime, how cool. I know, that's why he eats like we were taught to eat in Japan. It's a thing. It's a whole thing. My sister lives in Japan. We've been to Japan several times. They eat noodles very loudly. He now eats noodles very loudly. That's amazing, Gothric. I would love to see the stars more, but I also love being a city girl. Pierced, Halloween costumes. So, short answer is no. I don't even have plans this year. I normally do, but not this year. I think that this year I may just be handing out treats with the neighbors. And I love that. I have, if I'm on Friday, I'll put the dress on, but I have a floor-length black dress that just has like a glow-in-the-dark skeleton on it, and it actually glows in the dark, and I usually wear it all day on Halloween, and every year on Halloween I have my eye doctor appointment. So I have that coming up, and I wear my costume every time. Okay, let's see here. You've never seen it like that before? Yeah, the sky like that. I mean, I've seen the sky like that. I don't think I could live in that scenario. I think that it would think I'd get too lonely and get a little freaked out sometimes. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out this. We're gonna go with wood. Y332. Is that too light? Why is this so hard? Y552. Let's do that one. I don't think I've even used that marker before. I'm trying to get better about using the ones I've never used. Gothic, I was the same way. Growing up that way and having DIY costumes. I don't dress up. I celebrate Dia de los Muertos and All Saints Day. Congratulations. I love that. My mother used to do Dia de los Muertos when I was a kid. I've done a little bit of celebration with that, but not much. I don't do it annually or without my family. That's true. Absolutely. And I do want to learn to remote view or astral project. It's why I need to revisit the Gateway tapes. I'm just a little freaked out still about like thinking that I've been exposed to them before, and it does make me want to research and see if I can find any historical evidence of the kinds of hearing tests that they did do in that time frame, so that perhaps I can compare them. And maybe, like, I think it was you that said, like, well, maybe they just sounded the same, and it's like tricking your brain. So I do want to see if like there's a way to find the original hearing tests they did and what those sounded like, and maybe it was a man's voice saying you'll hear a tone in this ear and then that ear, and then it was like normal. So I kind of want to look around and see if I can find the normal hearing test and see how it compares. After this, though, I have to go out back and take pictures and stuff for insurance and call my landlords and do all this stuff. You guys see? Oh, yeah. HB. Do you want me to say it or you got it? Gothic, really? Was it a good video? Can you tag me in it or send it to me or something? I'd be interested to see it. Okay. HB. Pierced for HB. Just since you're kind of new to the chats, HB has dyslexia and ADHD and can sometimes struggle to get out his writing fast enough. So if I know the answer, I often try to jump in and answer for him if he wants me to. But he did a remote viewing session. It was kind of an experiment with his psychologist. And I don't want to say too much because I don't want to say too much, but essentially HB did a remote viewing session as an experiment to see if he was capable of doing it. And I don't remember if there were any results from the remote viewing experience that you attempted that were actually worthwhile, but I do know that HB had this feeling that he was not supposed to be doing it and that he was going to get punished. And shortly after doing it, a freak tornado came out of nowhere and kind of decimated his neighborhood. Like within, I want to say it was like less than 12 hours later. It just kind of came out of the blue. And I know all of this to be true because he sent me all the photos. I know where he lives. I know the property, and so he was able to show me all the destruction that happened so quickly after it happened, and he very much feels a strong correlation between that experience and his attempt at remote viewing. HB, I don't think he's ever been hypnotized. Lost to time, I'm afraid this was a good 10 years back. Oh, okay. All right, I'll Google that, or I'll YouTube that and see if I can find it. I saw a girl yesterday talking about a meditation trick that I want to try, but she said to use gravity to your advantage. And what she meant about that was like when trying to get into deep meditation, she would focus on different parts of her body, like a lot of us are taught to meditate that way, but they would focus on different parts of the body, and then she would try to really embrace and feel the gravity of Earth pushing her, holding her down into the place, like starting with her feet, going up her legs, going up her body, until she felt like she couldn't move. And she found that it was a really good way to get into a hyper deep meditation. And I have not stopped thinking about it since she said that. And I'm very much hoping to try it soon. Yeah, he never tried it again. As far as I know, he always said, yeah, but yeah, so progressive muscle relaxation with the focus on gravity, though. So that's what it was. It was a combination. It was like she took the traditional progressive muscle relaxation where you tense and release and like learn to relax that part of the body, but she released with an emphasis on gravity. Like her whole thing was to really like you release the tension but then focus on the gravity and like really bring it in deeper. And that is what, according to her, kind of took her to a new level. And it's made me really want to try that. That's all. It was just an interesting way of presenting it. I think that meditation is so important for everyone, but I found that like the more I talk to meditation and the more friends and people I have in my life that meditate, I realize how differently we all do it. And I think that that's a-okay, that we all have to like figure out the things that work for us. Some people require guided meditations. Some people require timed meditations. Some people require total silence. Some people do transcendental meditation that's what my husband does, where he has a word that he recites in his mind. There are walking meditations, physical meditations. There's just so many ways to do it. And it's very cool. Is that record already done? Yeah, meditation standing up. Meditation standing up, meditation sitting up. You can walk and meditate. It's different, but it's possible. And it works better for some people who find it impossible to not meditate when they're sitting down. It's kind of how, oh, it's not done. How when you relate the flow state to meditation, right? Like when you're in flow with something, I find writing meditative. I find coloring, if I'm not talking to you guys and I'm just coloring, very meditative, because essentially the idea is to turn off the thinking brain and just be in the present, whether that's your breathing or whether that might be in a flow state of some type. It's not the same, but it's possible. See, if I do it when I'm going to bed, I usually fall asleep. But that's an interesting idea. Picture yourself in your head walking around your space. I like it. All right, I need to figure out these bench seats real quick. Maybe a darker orange to go with the linoleum. Okay, Y315 is that one, so Y713 it is. Just making up colors now. Any tips for ADHD? See, Alf, I get that. That's how my mom is. She doesn't like it either. It doesn't work well of her for her. Specific tips for ADHD that I found helpful. It's a good question. So when I first started meditating, it was before I had been diagnosed, and so I wasn't on any medication or anything, but I still meditated. And for me, I had to start with guided meditations because of my ADHD. If I sat in silence and just tried to meditate off the bat, like Raw Dog originally, it was very, very difficult for me, and I felt like I was just like on the hamster wheel the whole time. Um, and I think that's pretty normal, right? That's how it starts. And then it's just like with repetition that it gets easier. But I definitely needed guided meditation because I needed something to focus on so that I wasn't just all over the place. So having someone's words to come back to remind me to breathe, remind me to catch myself if I'm thinking, all of those things was really beneficial. And then from there, as I progressed in my meditation practice, as well as my diagnoses and all of the other things, I was able to move beyond spoken meditation, if you will. Oh, okay, HB. Well, I actually looked it up. I basically just wanted to know when and where it was and if it was open to the public. But I looked it up a little bit and I saw. Uh, Both, anyone, really. Yeah, and HB talks about the differences between the ADHD diagnoses, and I am not hyper familiar with the differences. Okay, we're going to do every other tile, this kind of orange of the seat too, to bring it back in, okay? It's going to be a little different because there's already a layer, but I need to bring the colors together. I want to show you guys the damage to the deck. See, when I got diagnosed, I don't know that they probably indicated a difference, but not so much to the fact that like it logged in my memory if they did, or that they, made a point to identify which one it was for me. So I don't know about mine. But yeah, I just know that for someone with ADHD, I had to start out with guided meditations before I could progress to silent meditation. I really needed that structure. I also used to always have to lay down because sitting up for that long felt like a chore and felt distracting. That has gotten better with time. It helps that like I have friends that have gone on those silent meditations where they go on a retreat for like 2 weeks and they're not allowed to speak at all for 2 weeks, and then they meditate every day for like 10 hours. And while I've done nothing like that, it's definitely inspired me to remember that like with practice, things get easier. All right, let me get the record. You guys, look how pretty this one is. Is that not gorgeous? Look at that other side. I love really cool vinyl. Stop daydreaming. We heard a lot. Okay, when you used to do dynamic degrees real fast, you could feel a tremble in your body like you was about to be powered up with energy. Interesting. Fun fact about that too, they stopped using H or I because it's released that both H is just one outside and one is inside. Interesting. Hypersensitivity is what I felt. Alpha, if I got the feeling of magic mushrooms for some reason, I felt like a giant. Meditation is natural for ADHD. And my space is just suffocating me. Alpha, the friend who introduced me to all of this, does that too. It's supposedly something with your astral body. I don't know though. Wouldn't recommend it to him. Have a lack of proprioception, brain hand disconnection. Oh yeah, a little bit of apraxia. I gotta start focusing here. Interesting conversation all the way around though. Let's see here. Red for the skeleton, yep. I got a kind of reddish orange to start bringing in some of the details that are going to come up to the skeleton too. Man, so I have only, we've talked about this before, but in terms of like psychedelics, I haven't done much beyond microdosing, which I'm a big proponent of microdosing for as medicine. I have had really amazing results from that. The one time I took a larger dose, I had auditory hallucinations, which I knew were possible. Excuse me. I knew were possible, but I thought were rare, right? I thought that that was a rare side effect. And I was like, when it first started, I didn't realize it was hallucination. I thought that something was going on with the music that we were playing. And it took me a long time to realize that I was having an auditory hallucination, not a visual hallucination, not any other sort of hallucination. And it kind of threw me off because it was not a pleasant sound. And I have never done, and it wasn't even a huge dose, it was just a dose, but I have never done it again in terms of more than just a microdose. Just I'm a little tripped out about the idea of the audio hallucinations coming back. Okay, we're gonna bring a darker red in for the rest of his outfit. Oh my god, yeah. Yeah. Oh my god, Gothic. There are so many pages in these books that I hate. Hate. The team has been here with me many a times when I've colored, just to turn around and be like, you guys, I hate this, but redid it anyways. What's funny is that sometimes I will hate them, and then after they dry, I'll like them. So we did one not long ago, the art gallery one that I didn't like, that turned out really good. This was Monday's, and now that it's dried, it looks great. Man, I've got quite a delay here. Wait, you had audio hallucinations yesterday and you were sober? Interesting, HV. I think this is the picture I'm going to color Friday with the witch for Halloween. Oh, I did this one on live the other day and I didn't like it. And now that it's dried, look how cute it is. So this is really one of those things that after 24 hours, the page gets better. Okay, I was gonna say, how do you have auditory hallucinations sober? Is it in here? Where's the page I just did? Oh, HB, sneak peek. This is the Medusa page that I'm gonna do the short on, talking about my dream. She turned out cute. This was the one I did on live the other day that I didn't think I would like, and now that it's dry, I like it. So it's, yeah, I try to realize that, like, even if I don't think I like it in the moment, usually after it dries, it gets better. Yeah, Gothic. I mean, I'm the same way, kids, on that train with you. I've cut back a lot lately, but it's still an ongoing thing for sure. How dark do we go with this red? 218? No, we'll bring in the legs of the spider and stuff. I don't want to bring in too many colors. I mean, yes, Gothic, same. Pierce, me, you, and Gothic can be together on that one. Yeah. It's a wild time. I mean, I'm trying to adjust things because I really do have a deep fascination with consciousness and with all of these things going on right now. And I think that it would probably be wise to be more within my fallacies right now. But it does not make it easy. Okay, so I'll do another layer on the leash to differentiate it from these pants. It really just does take some drying time, huh? I know that these lives have not been performing well, but I keep thinking about it, and it all feels very relative right now, where I do videos on things like telepathy tapes or other esoteric conversations, as I'll keep doing. And then, oh, excuse me, I do these speed coloring shorts where I tell stories over them. And then a live is kind of a combination of all of that, right? I'm coloring the same coloring things as the shorts. And we're having a candid conversation about the topics of the channel. And so even though they're not performing well, my point is that I feel like I'm doing the right thing. I feel like this is what feels good to me right now. It feels relative. It feels like it's scratching an itch. It's just got me very hopeful. Okay, we're getting somewhere a little bit. Let's move on. I got you, HB. Oh, really? HB or Gothric. I'm very lucky that I don't have that. I drink, but I don't overindulge. I will drink regularly, but I don't like losing control of my fallacies, which is how I feel very much when I drink. Is this my lighter color? Yeah. So I red, right? Sorry, multitasking. Yes, this is red. Do I have all the right colors? What am I missing? Why 713? Trying to figure out what my colors are. 713 is this peachy color. Okay. And this is the yellow color. My brain's breaking. Really? Alf, I forgot you have the grounding blanket. Thank you, Paul. That really means a lot. Even if there's 10 of us. You know, I went to bed last night specifically with the intention of waking up and remembering my dreams. Waking up to a fire was not in that thought process at the time. So I'm very... Nothing happened last night. My point is that I really wanted to dream, but if I did dream, it was completely gone the second we woke up in a panic. Oh, Alf, that's interesting. I mean, I'm sure there's got to be some sort of way to psychoanalyze what that might mean. Why people are chasing you in your dreams. I mean, I've had dreams like that, but I don't have them right. Like, my dreams, when I dream, they're all over the place. All right, I'm kind of filling in these red and orange colors. I'm going to come back to my blue girl. Okay. Inflammation could absolutely have something to do with it. That's a very curious correlation. In Gothric, I love that you turn to John Wick in your dreams. That's kind of like my Medusa dream. I felt like John Wick for Medusa. I really thought Monty would be over here right now with everything going on. You guys, I seriously can't believe our house caught on fucking fire. Like, I go for a second and I, like, forget that it happened because I'm in here. And then I, like, think about turning around. And, like, going outside and seeing what's going on out there. I'm just so lucky everybody's okay. And everything is okay. That it's just exterior damage. But, like, man, I think it's really kind of fucking with me. And it'll be interesting to see how it impacts, how the day progresses, because I have some like business meetings and stuff that I'm gonna have to refocus on. See, Gothric, HB's dreams come true, and it's wild. I haven't had any of my dreams come true. You know, I was thinking, I don't know if you guys remember on Monday we were talking about Mall World, that kind of dream place that all of these people are coming forward and saying that they've been dreaming about for years, and a lot of them are GATE program kids. And I realized I don't have that experience. I've never visited Mall World in my dreams or otherwise. But I did have a reoccurring dream all the time as a kid that I was in one of those, I don't remember what they're called, but they're like a theme park or maybe even like a carnival ride where it's the big ship that swings back and forth. You know what I'm talking about? Almost looks like a half merry-go-round. Like it has a little thing in the middle and the thing just goes back and forth. in my dream that I've had so many times since I was a kid, but it's been a long time since it's happened. I always had a dream that on one of the turns, it just snaps off and like just keeps going. And in the dream, the ride is near the water. We're near an ocean, a lake, it's near water. And I say all of this because looking at the mall world stuff and this repetitive dream these people have, one part of this mall world is an outdoor theme park roller coaster world that's on the edge of the water. And again, it's probably nothing and I'm just putting stuff together, but it keeps, every time I see it and I see these drawings of this mall world that these people see and I see where they put the amusement park, it always reminds me of the dream that I always had about that ride. That, I think it's called Pharaoh something. I think it was an Egyptian thing. Weird, Paul. I have dreams about being in hotels and stuff. Sometimes more than one. I had one dream where I went back to the same place twice and the same people were there and it was like a whole thing. And it was like a really large resort vacation place. It was odd. You're right, HB. My Wi-Fi being weird. How are we doing on time? I like blacked out. Oh my god, it's 9:30. Really, Paul? That's crazy. I know. We're not even on the Wi-Fi. Why is that happening? Okay, let's start. Sorry, I was trying to see what was happening. We're back. Okay. Okay, thank you. That was weird. Okay, so I don't know that it feels the same. I have talked about this dream before I ever heard about Mall World. I've had that dream since I was a kid with that ride. The correlation I will say is that the way that the people who experience Mall World talk about how they feel about Mall World is similar to how I feel in my dream with the ride. And the only thing that keeps hanging me up is the location. Because it was always like, the location is always very much the same for me. Like the dream is very much the same. And there's something about the location when people talk about Mall World and like they start mapping things out that I'm like, it just feels similar. Like it feels like whatever I'm thinking of happened in this corner of this Mall World. I'm probably full of shit, right? Like I think it's probably just cognitive bias. It's probably just hearing something and having it trigger. Okay, good. I'm back. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, it's all very curious. It does, like I said, it makes me want to, woo, makes me want to do a little bit more digging. I really am really kind of hung up in this gate program conspiracy right now. For whatever reason, it's just kind of in my head. What do I want? Let's do this one. I've never been able to lucid dream. I have tried. I've tried to lucid dream to no avail. I currently am working on just increasing my dreaming in general, trying to adjust my sleep hygiene and my sleep habits to see if I can encourage sleep. Or encourage dreaming in my sleep. It has not happened yet with intention. But I do really want to lucid dream. I keep trying to remind myself that when I'm in my dreams, if I can think about it, to check my hands, because they say that that's a really good way to kind of wake yourself up and realize that you're dreaming, is that if you can get yourself to look at your hands in your dream and you can see that your hands are a little odd, you can usually be like, oh, I'm dreaming, and then kind of wake up within the dream. But I haven't had any success with that yet. As for my dream with the ride, it has been years since I had that. And it's one of two reoccurring dreams I had as a kid. It's just the only one that reminds me of Mall World. The other reoccurring dream I had, I've mentioned before too, but it's basically I'm at the top of a hill. I'm a little kid, and I'm at the very top of like a hill like you would see in like a Tim Burton movie, like just a solitary hill. And my mom has a grocery cart, and I'm sitting in the grocery cart, and she's at the top of the hill. And there's another mom with her grocery cart and a kid in her grocery cart facing the other way. And the moms are talking, but we're at the top of this hill. And at one point, my mom starts talking with her hands and lets go of my cart. And it starts like careening down this hill towards a road. And I wake up. That is the other reoccurring dream that I get sometimes. But it has really been a very long time since I've had either of those. Okay, let's see here. I need to pay attention. Dude, Alf, that's okay. That is a-okay. There is only space for so much in our brain, and I think it is wise to pick and choose what you give your energy to and where you put your attention. So, by all means, babes, stay out of the hole. If you don't need to be in the conspiracy hole right now, don't go in it. I think sometimes for me it serves as a distraction. But other than that, it's fascinating. Paul, literally type in Mall World, and you will find stuff. Mall World, and if you want to add to it, Gate, Gate, probably in all caps. That is, what color do I have? That is where you're going to find the information. I first found it on TikTok. But I have since found it on YouTube in a lot of ways. Okay, let's get to our blue girl. Let's see what's going on here. Trying to think of how dark to go with the blue. Oh my God, where is it? Okay. Oh, Gothric, do you have any idea how much that means to me? Hmm. That's interesting, Paul. No, honestly, Gothric, you saying that means so much to me because, like I've said before, this live stream used to perform pretty well, and then it just plummeted. And I don't know that I care. I want things to work out, and I want things to be successful, and I want to be able to make a living this way someday. But this really and truly started because I wanted a place to share too. I wanted a place where I could go and do these kinds of practices in the morning and kind of center myself and have these creative, community based conversations. I'm not a Twitch person. I'm not an influencer. I'm not trying to sell anything. I think if I'm trying to sell anything, it's humanity. Because the more AI integrates into our society, I think that there's going to be a resurgence of people wanting humans. And I feel that itch. And so it just made sense to me that there might be others out there that also just needed someone to like have a human moment with and to wake up and realize it's worth taking a pause and just interacting with other humans. It's a form of touching grass, right? It's a way of us, at least for me, kind of recentering and remembering that like we're all doing the best we can. We're all just human. We're all going through shit. All going through all different kinds of shit. We're all in different levels of consciousness, different spectrums of ADHD and autism and sexuality and religion, and everything seems so busy and so crowded right now. And I'm adding to that crowd by like doing this, but at the same time, the point in doing this is to create a quiet, safe landing place for others. And I feel like we're doing that. And it feels really good. Oh, Gothric. I am a big fan of thrifting everything, but especially kids' stuff. Especially shoes, because they grow out of them before they're even able to destroy them, so they're usually still in great condition. What is this little line right here? What is that? Okay, we're getting somewhere. Let's see. Is that record cannot be over? There's just really long pauses between the songs, right? Yeah, it's not over. There's just like big pauses. I love that, HB. Oh, really, Gothric? You're not into secondhand? I don't even like to use this word secondhand. I always say pre-loved. Um, don't personally don't turn your nose up to pre-loved items and thrifted items and secondhand items. The world is so full of stuff, just stuff everywhere. There's so much stuff. Humans love stuff. We make stuff, we buy stuff, we get rid of stuff. and it all just goes into the ocean and landfills and dropped off at other countries so it's not our problem and all of these things. And when I think of that combined with the fact that there are items that are perfectly good and pre-loved that won't go towards that, I am a big proponent. Again, this is not a shaming place, not at all, not at all. But if it helps make you think of it any differently, I really do believe in the importance and the power of owning something pre-loved. Yeah, absolutely, Pierced. Kai is not a doctor, but we can definitely send the good energy to Dr. Hennessy and Dr. Mossbridge and Kai and all of the people who have been working on this stuff. It's insane. Me, Alf? No. I don't shop at any of those stores. No high-end department stores at all. No mall. I mean, I'm sure there's a mall around here, but I don't know the last time I've been to a mall. Um, no, you're fine. Yeah. Kai is a documentarian, an award-winning documentarian and journalist and film writer, and researcher, but she is not the doctor. Um, as for, oh, hey, Demas. Please be safe driving, but thank you for letting us know you're here. Um, but yeah, Alf, I don't shop in any of those stores. But I have no judgment against those stores. I just don't. I literally almost everything in my home is pre-loved. This couch is pre-loved. Almost all of these plants I inherited from people. I made this blanket with my hands. This table is pre-loved. This coffee mug is pre-loved. The stand that this is on, the stand that you're on is pre-loved. The gimbal that my phone is sitting on, pre-loved. I bought this rug new. I brought this cabinet from IKEA and painted it. Pre-loved. That chair was pre-loved. Everything in this house, the lamp that you can see over here, the light that I have down here, all of it pre-owned by other people. Girl, this couch. Do you want to hear the story real quick? This couch is a 1990s Italian designer couch that was made by a French designer, I think in 1993. He no longer is working. He might not even be with us. And when the pandemic first hit, I got on Craigslist one day and I found somebody. And that's what I'm saying, Gothric. Don't discard pre-loved things because you can make beautiful things happen. But this couch, so I saw on Craigslist this guy, and the couch was wrapped. You couldn't even see the whole thing, but I could get like the outline of it. He's like, I have a couch, there's a matching footstool, and then another couch and another matching footstool. And this guy was like, I don't want them. They were an interior designers. He was an upholsterer. He was closing his shop, and he was like, I just need someone to get them out. I thought it was a scam, but I convinced my husband. We rented a U-Haul, so we just spent like $120. Drove out to the suburbs, met this guy. They were real. He hauled them in my truck, or in our truck. We got him home, and I found the maker's tag. I ended up having to communicate with a museum in Italy to get these verified for what they were, these couches and these chairs. And then I lost my job over the pandemic, like everyone did, and we all thought the world was burning. So I sold one of the couches and one of the footstools for rent 1 month during the pandemic because I was scared. But I kept one set, and the footstool's behind the couch because there's no place out here for it. But like, this is a pre-loved couch that I actually got technically for free, just for the price of the truck rental. I mean, literally, everything I love, everything I have is pre-made. My rings, my wedding band, my rings, they've been pre-loved. They came from family members and they came from important people with lots of lessons of love and growth. And again, just adds to me believing that, like, don't discount pre-loved things. Some of the best treasures in the world have had homes before, including people. Use pre-loved, not secondhand, not thrifted, not garage sale. It's pre-loved. It was an item that was loved by someone else and now it can be loved by you. It's like animal, it's like adoption, right? It's the same thing. No, Gothric, I will help you. I'll help you from a distance. Find the things you love. Find a way to curate them. It'll make you so happy. Hold on. I'm going to flip the record. I'm going to finish this. This has gotten so long today. We're gonna wrap this up. Hold on. I'm feeling so much better than when I started, though. Yeah, this morning is not what I expected. But I'm really glad to be getting through it with you guys. So thank you. All right, let's keep moving. Let's get this thing done. I know, Pierce, it's crazy, but it does happen. Oh, HB, I'm sorry. Oh, the elk head. Yeah. You guys can't see it right now. Maybe I'll try and show it to you before I get offline. The elk head's a good one. There's an elk head right over here that I inherited with our last home. And power washed it in the car wash like a crazy person. I'm going to do the shading and stuff off camera today since this one's gone so long. I need to do the inside of Homie's eyes and this little stuff up here, and then I think we're good. Okay, so we're gonna do eyes in this color. Okay. We're gonna do the treats in this darker color. Power washed, I know. Yeah, absolutely they exist, Gothric. My best friend's an interior designer. That's different than like an interior decorator, but she's an interior designer and she's fantastic at it. She's been winning all of these awards, and I think it's just a matter of time before she's going to be in Architectural Digest, and I'm so excited for her already. I'm like her biggest cheerleader. I think she's phenomenal. Her and I could not have more different tastes, but that's like what we love about each other and our friendship. But it is crazy. It's always been something that I do love. Like, I love decorating, I love all of that, so it's not like a huge departure for me. But it does take time, especially if you're doing it with pre-loved items. It takes time to curate. You know, you're not going to like walk into a store and find all these things you love that's just going to make up a perfect home. Like, it takes a lot of time of slowly accruing things that you love that contribute to your home, in my opinion. Cat's trying to finish off your sofa from the 67 from 67. That's cool. Oh man, I have some restoration video. Well, I think I have one restoration video Gothric in my really old stuff. Buster. And it's really funny. Monty's allowed on everything. All the beds, all the couches, all the furniture, except for this couch. And this is the one he wants on, usually. But he learned really quickly, and he doesn't push it. Like, once he realized he wasn't allowed on this couch, he stopped trying to get on this couch. Okay. Is that it? Is that all the colors down? Yeah, I think it is. I'm going to do the shading and maybe the background off screen. Yeah, but there she is. They're cute. It's a good one. No, you guys are so cool. No, Andy's cat's named Buster. I did have a cat named Buster also. Or no, Dexter? I think it was Dexter when I was a kid. Honestly, you guys, I really do feel a lot better. Thank you. I was really kind of still in shock when I started this morning, but I knew I wanted the normalcy. I knew I was looking forward to today, even though I wanted it to be outside. I'll show you guys the back at some point. I think I'm gonna be back on Friday. That's my goal. That's my goal. And I am still working on the telepathy tapes script today. I also have some work meetings today. But things are moving, and I'll have more stuff out soon that's not just my shorts. But I'm gonna go because it's been 2 hours. Thank you guys for sitting with me today. I hope that it brought you some sort of peace or joy to your day, a little bit of calm. I really appreciate you guys all holding space for me right now also. So, thank you. Yeah, take it easy. Everyone take it easy today. Take it easy today and tomorrow, because things are weird. And then on Friday, hopefully I'll see you guys all again here, and we can pick up where we left off with a whole brand new world. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you soon.